Man, gratitude is such a crazy thing. It's so powerful because I was sat there reflecting on the things that I was grateful for: my health, my family, my relationships, being able to breathe air, being alive. You know, when you practice gratitude, it's very hard for things that are, usually plaguing your mind to really get through to you because you realize that they're unimportant. You realize that there's so much to be thankful for. You realize what is truly important. And I like to take this a step further because sometimes, you know, even some of my friends that I speak with, they may struggle with gratitude. And a good exercise to do is when you're with somebody or you're having a meal with somebody, it's a good practice to ask them to share something that they're grateful for. It raises the frequency and it attaches, positive connotations to you because you can get them to dig into a level of appreciation that they don't usually step into. And it's a way of almost, thanking or savoring the meal or the sustenance that you're getting from that food. So that's one practice. Another practice is if you're somebody that struggles with gratitude, the initial things I said at the start of this video were umbrellas. So if we talk about health, you say, I'm grateful for my health. Sometimes people can say, it's quite difficult to come up with 5 things every day that I'm grateful for. So I see them as pockets. Health is a pocket, relationships a pocket. What I mean by that is some people say by Wednesday, I'm running out of things to be grateful for. I say that's impossible. There is an immense amount of things that you can list off. And the way you do this is breaking it down. Just go within health. I am grateful for my joints, my ability to articulate my wrist like this. I'm grateful for my skin. I'm grateful for my eyelashes. I am grateful for my teeth. I can chew food. I'm grateful for my taste. I'm grateful for the sense of touch. I am grateful that I can smell. And even when you are deficient in certain areas or you have some things that are missing, you can always clutch towards something to be thankful for. And that's just within health, that's just within the body. I'm grateful for my ability to speak. I'm grateful right now for me to be able to share my thoughts with you, for you guys to be able to get this insight into what's passing my mind. And this led me to something interesting on the process of showing levels of gratitude and appreciation. And I think it's a powerful exercise for everyone to do. But it went a step further. I was thinking about how grateful I am for my vision, the ability to see, the ability to see things that others don't always see. And that led me down a rabbit hole. As you guys are familiar, that's usually what happens. Showing extreme gratitude for my vision. And then I thought about the concept of focus. So I was thinking about my vision, and then I actually realized nature and our behavior patterns follow a similar concept. A lot of people don't realize that they have the power to immensely excel in things the same way you use your eyes every day. It was almost like something was being unlocked and the clue was always there. Because when we use our vision, when you're looking at the screen right now, when you look down at your hand, what your eyes do is it manages to blur out everything else because there's an intense amount of focus on a particular point that you're trying to see. It doesn't mean that everything else is not there. It means that you just lock into one particular point and thing. And I think, you know, that how like the intelligence behind that process is so crazy. But the fact that we have the choice to replicate this in our lives is even crazier. So oftentimes you may be, stuck on what the next step is. But it's usually just a lack of focus because you're trying to take in all the stimulus. And even our eyes don't work on this basis. Even our eyes, the sophisticated system that allows us to see things, if this allows us to see things and give us our vision, it's leaving clues into how we can create the vision in our consciousness and our mind and our future. So I look down at my hand and everything else around is blurred out. I look at you, everything in the periphery is now not important because I'm focusing. How can we apply the same thing? It's something I consciously knew I was doing in certain areas, but if I can apply it in and tweak it in other ways, I think it will take me to the next level. So, for example, a lot of the time you just need to focus and make less decisions. One way you can do that, simple thing, prepare your day from the night before. It's about having less decisions, less things to think about. So your focus can now flow easier into one thing and is not getting spread out because there's constant stimulus. Even our brain, in order to focus onto one thing, it has to eradicate the rest of the stimulus around it. So something I simply do is I wear or I get loads of the same thing so that it's just one less decision in my day because then you're focused. You can literally pinpoint what you need to do and create priorities. So again, a lot of the time it comes down to making less decisions. What's going to impede your growth isn't adding more, it's less. Imagine if you tried right now as hard as you could to see everything at the same time. It wouldn't even be possible. And imagine the amount of fatigue that you're going to put in your mind just trying to do that. It's the same when it comes to your goals and making progress. So that one little bit of gratitude and reflection and picking the pockets, health. Let me just go into the things that I'm immensely grateful for of my health. Opened up some insight in regards to how I can better go about optimizing my day by taking something from a natural system and applying it to my life. So I just thought I'd share that with you. Yeah, maybe you'd find it insightful. Maybe to some of you it's obvious, but nature leaves a lot of clues. Again, like I do like the some of the esoteric things and some of the deeper things, but I do like to keep it practical as well. How can you apply this in your life? How can you apply an element of deep focus? How can you eliminate the the toil of trying to make constant decisions over and over again? If you know you're going to do something every day, make a system. These systems will allow you to be more efficient. That's all systems are. Systems and processes make things more efficient. So if you need to wake up at a certain time every day, or if you need to go to the gym at a certain time, try and implement systems to get your time back. Because when you get your time back, you're also getting your energy back. And that is the resource that we're exchanging for money. Imagine exchanging something that is so finite for something that is being printed all the time. Your time and your energy are finite resources. So where you choose to focus them is extremely important, but you need to start seeing it as investments. What's the yield going to be on the time and energy put into something? Because the money, if you trade your time and your energy just for the money, it's unbelievable superficial. And I know we all need to make money and we all need to make an income. And that's why it's a case where you can just assess the leverage that you can apply to your ability to make an income. Because the money is infinite. They literally print it. If you look at your bank, it's literally just numbers on a screen. If you look into how money was actually originally backed by gold and you understand the change since then, you could argue that is not real. However, how you feel in regards to your energy, no one can convince you that's not real. And how you spend your time when you're doing things that are unleveraged, no one can tell you that's not real because you feel the burden of it. So yeah, this is a few elements that can be combined into one. Gratitude, focus, Gratitude, focus. These are going to be the things that, take it there. Gratitude, focus, energy, time. But I'd condense it to three: gratitude, focus, leverage. Show gratitude, focus on your goals, and implement leverage in order to yield more favorable outcomes. Because leverage is going to get you more for exactly the same. And in some instances, leverage is going to get you more from doing less. So I apply it like this, I'd have conversations with people, whether it be paid or mentoring or, you know, meetings with clients, whether it be a consultation or something. And the bandwidth of that conversation is only going to be one to one. However, sharing this information now online, it's leveraged. It could go to one person. It may go to one person, it may go to 10 people. But there's at least a possibility that it can go to 100,000 people if the platform deems it valuable enough. And it's my goal to ensure that, I'm working on myself and staying sharp to increase the chances of that. So I'd implement leverage. I show gratitude every day, and I'm conscious on the focus. So yeah, think about these three pillars and see how you can implement them in your life. And hopefully there's something useful there that you can take away, because I think it was hugely impactful for me. And I just come to share some of the things that work for me. So gratitude, focus, leverage. Own them.